God bless you, Royal Family and Friends. Apostle E.O. Townsend, Harvest of Faith Gospel Ministries, and Harvest of Faith Apostolic Covenant of Churches and Ministries. I just wanted to take a moment of your time today because I have some issues that I need to address, and those issues are uh, voting for your favorite candidate, and we have to be careful who we vote for. Now, the reason I say that is this: we have a candidate that's paraded around five black women who lost their children. Now, where was she when they actually lost their children? Nowhere to be found. We have a candidate that many years ago called black people to heal and incarcerated thousands of them through the three strikes law. We have a candidate who has said that she didn't say this and she didn't say that, and that another candidate was lying and making up stuff. But then when they rolled the footage of that particular conversation, it turned out that she's lying. We have a candidate um, that is ultimately responsible for four Americans being killed on foreign soil and did nothing about it, and then disrespected the families. We have a candidate that is hiding their emails. They won't release their emails. They say they released their emails, but unfortunately, the emails are still not being released. So, what is in those emails that are so detrimental that they won't release them? Then we have another candidate who says he's going to make America great again. Well, you can't make America great by yourself. It takes the House, it takes the Senate, it takes the people, it takes the legislators, it takes everyone to make a country great. If you look at the backbone of the country, which is the American workers, and then if you even go further than that, if you look at the backbone, which were the slaves, those were the people that made America great. No politician has ever made America great. No president has ever made America great. The only way America can be great is if people have jobs. The only way America can be great is if people have decent health care. The only way that America can be made great is that we end racism. The only way America can be great is if we can have our Constitution back. The only way that America will ever be great again is if we put God back in America, which is the number one thing to make America great again, is to put God back in America. Then you have another candidate who wants to form a North American union like they have in Europe, which would pretty much end America as we know it, because then we'll belong to this North America Union. So you have someone who wants to destroy the country. You have somebody who wants to dictate the country. Then you have somebody who just wants to be president because their husband was president. We need to look at all this, folks. We need to gather the facts instead of going with the rhetoric. There is much more involved in this election than you actually think. Donald Trump is not going to make America great. Donald Trump has no foreign policy experience. Donald Trump has business experience, but is shrouded in fraud. $40 million worth of fraud that he duped people in this Trump University, and he wouldn't give them their money back. And now he's got to go to court to answer for that. Do we really need that? Do we really need that? Do we really need a man in office that is a fraudster? Really? Do we need a woman in office that is responsible for four people dying on American soil, on foreign soil, that there was help that was 15 minutes away, that they could have lifted them out of there before those people started attacking the embassy? What is she going to do with an entire army? And it hits the fan and they need to pull back, or something happens. What is she going to do then? Is she going to abandon them too? There's a lot of questions to be answered here, folks, and we're all getting riled up with the rhetoric, going to the Trump. Every single Trump event, there's an issue. The one in Arizona, dude hit Hit the guy, just pummeled him. For what? What's the purpose? People have a right to be heard. Donald Trump doesn't want to listen to anybody but himself. He wants to hear his own voice. He doesn't want to embrace the issues of America. He wants to make America great all by himself. That'll never happen. I promise you, that will never happen. It's time for us to wake up. It's time for us to take a couple of steps back. It's time for us to really listen to what these people are talking about. It's time for us to get on Google and find out more about these candidates and what their positions are. Because, again, this is a very important election, and our country is at stake. Our very Constitution is at stake. And we have to have people who are going to really defend the Constitution of the United States of America. From the First Amendment to the Last Amendment, we need somebody who's going to defend the Constitution. Not be a spoiled rich kid, or not be a spoiled rich woman, or not be someone who's just going to give up the country to form some kind of union like they did in Europe. That's not acceptable. America is and was the greatest place on earth, the greatest country on earth. But now it's the laughingstock of earth. So we need to get ourselves back together, folks, because we have soldiers that are dying daily defending a country where, and I hate to say this, but the powers that be don't care. They come back maimed and their minds in a horrible state, and they can't even get help. Donald Trump ain't gonna do all that. Hillary ain't gonna do all that. We need to look in deep to ourselves, inside, and really come to grips with who we want to lead this country. We can't have somebody who will just spit something out of his mouth and there not be consequences. Because there will be consequences. Some of these countries aren't going to put up with that. And we'll have a real problem. God bless you. God keep you. Pray. Pray. Let's stop the madness. Let's pray. Let's stop the anger. Let's pray. The Bible tells us about being slow to anger. And right now, the United States, the people of the United States are angry because they're tired of business as usual in Washington. They're tired of these politicians just getting richer and richer and not doing anything that the people asked them to do before they got into office. They took an oath to defend the Constitution, yet they're tearing the Constitution apart for their own personal gain. So yes, it's time to stop the madness. But it's also time to be sensible and use your mind. Because one candidate is banking on the people who he deems to be not so smart. That's a dangerous thing to say. That I'm banking on those who are not quite smart. Because now he's saying that you're stupid enough to vote for him. And you're his fans. The president doesn't need fans. The president needs to do his job. Just because you offer a black woman a job during one of your campaigns, are you gonna employ the entire United States? Is that what your goal is? So you can even get richer? And you say that the wages are too high? So what? We're supposed to live in poverty and never go anywhere, never get above middle class, so you can be rich and get richer and have America working for you. Wow. All right, I'm out of here. God bless you. Peace.